Hello everyone, I don't know what the date is. Alexa, what's the date? Alexa, what's the date?
Today is Wednesday the 29th of January.
Oh, it's the 29th of January. Soon be February. I think January's gone slow for me. I don't know, some people have been saying it's going fast, but I found it's gone slow. I'm making brunch because it's 10:37. So I'm making brunch for myself, and I'll show you my plated brunch, and you can rate my plate if you want to. I did record, this is the first video you're seeing, but I did record a video of me tidying out some kitchen cupboards. The unedited footage was about an hour. I could probably have got that down considerably, but I thought that's ridiculous, you're not going to watch that. So I might use some of the footage, I might show you what I've been up to. I have been tidying and sorting, that is my raison d'etre, certainly for the next few months. Here's a bag of stuff I'm binning. Unfortunately the bin is almost full and we've got nearly a week, well just under a week, 6 days to wait until they empty the main bin. So I can't put it in the main bin, this will have to go in the bin when they've emptied it, unless Mark takes it to the tip. So I've just got rid of, look, I know I could, I don't know, I know I could possibly give them to charity actually, but it comes to a point where you think, just bin it. I know it's a terrible waste, 50 siliconized cake tin liners, but you know, when I do make a cake, I tend to do it in a loaf tin, or I just put it in a normal tin and line it with greaseproof and put a bit of melted butter around the edge. So don't need it. And loads of old lock and lock. I'm trying to get away from plastic containers. I've got a lot of glass ones now. Oh, that's part of the NutriBullet. A non-Pyrex glass dish that's chipped. This is it. This sodding thing. Oh, I so want to smash it, but just binning it will be enough. This bowl, I've no idea why Mark has this bowl. I've said to him many times, get rid of it. Why have we got this bowl? What do you use it for? Every time I empty the dishwasher and have to put the bowls back in the cupboard, this is always sitting in the Denby, in the stack of Denby bowls. This is always sitting in there, and I know it's nothing much, but it really gets on my tits. So I have to take this out, put the bowls that should be there, and then put this on top, and it's so infuriating. So finally, it's not a family heirloom, it's a cheap. I know, can I give that to charity shop? Would somebody want to buy a bowl? That's the thing. I think I do give away a lot of stuff. Mark takes it to the RSPCA normally, but I'm just thinking, would you buy a single bowl? I mean, maybe you would, but then it's, I still got stuff to go to the charity shop upstairs, but I'm feeling so satisfied about putting that in there, saying goodbye to it forever. And I bet Mark will say something and I'll just say, oh, I broke it, because I've mentioned it to him many times because it's so annoying. I'll show you what I've been doing behind the camera, shall I? This is an IKEA unit that we had to buy because Mark broke the other one somehow. Oh yes, he was decorating the kitchen when I was away, and I don't know, he was pulling it out, it fell over and broke. I don't know how he did it. They weigh a ton, obviously everything was emptied out of it. And he didn't make, to be honest, he didn't make a very good job of the kitchen. It'll all get redecorated when the new kitchen's done. The only thing that's going to stay the same in this kitchen, obviously the table and this unit, and the floor. It's an Amtico floor, nothing wrong with the floor, so it's just the units really. This side basically will be the same, the dining side. It's just going to have a bit of redecoration. I don't know what I'm filming, let me turn my thing around. There we go, oh, she's going out. I need to wash the bedding. Whoop, they're peeing on them frequently. Oh, hello, Daisy. Oh, hello. Daisy May. I haven't turned the microphone around, I'm afraid, so she's having one of her moments. Aren't you, Daisy? She doesn't even know I'm here. Oh, I'm here, Daisy. You need to go out for a piddle. Go on, she's not as bad as Molly, although she has wet the bed. Oh, hang on. I'm on my tripod. Right, so that's going to get washed. I'm gonna have to hang on. I'm gonna have to start cooking me eggs, because I think I'll do this for a bit longer. It's nearly finished. Yeah, I'm gonna do it another couple of minutes. So I've got my beans, just a small tin of beans in my little glass pan. I normally use my glass frying pan, but I can't be bothered. I'm using Mark's Le Creuset one. So I've already got one egg ready to go. Now, apart from anything, you know, the video I said I'd done. I can't see myself again. Well, I don't want to see myself, but I want to at least see that you can hear me. Yes, that is showing. Yeah, I looked absolutely huge, really, really fat in that last video. So that's one reason why I'm not putting up that footage. I've got to sort myself out this year regarding getting more exercise, eating better, and losing the weight. Now, I don't know if you know about Chinese New Year, folks, but I believe it's the year of the snake in 20... Hang on, I'll just check with old Alexa. Alexa, what year is it in Chinese New Year?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, Chinese New Year in 2024 falls on February 10th,
no, I don't want
and ends with the Lantern Festival on February 24th.
Right. No, I don't want to know that, Alexa. What animal is 2025 for Chinese? Alexa, what animal is 2025 in the Chinese New Year?
On the Chinese calendar, 2025 is the year of the snake.
Right, I was right.
From the 29th
Yeah, so,
of
shut up!
January
Shut up!
2025 and
Alexa!
ending on the 16th
Alexa,
of
shut up!
February
Alexa has an Australian accent now.
From Speechify.com.
Oh, shut up!
The Australian accent mainly comes from the way English was spoken by the early British people who came to Australia.
Alexa, shut up. Sorry about that, folks. Doesn't matter whether it's an Australian man or an English woman, whoever you choose, whatever accent you like for Alexa, they're still bloody annoying, aren't they? Always listening, always spying. Right, at least I've managed to get the eggs in without breaking the yolk. Do you just hate that, folks? When you get... hang on. Everything's happening at once. I just need to wash my hands because I've got egg white on them. Right, so yes, anyway, it is the year of the snake as far as Chinese astrology or whatever goes. Mark is a snake. I am a rooster, apparently. And one good thing I've learnt today is the rooster and the snake are very compatible relationship-wise. And also, I believe our star signs, Gemini and Leo, are compatible as well. So, despite everything, we're pretty compatible in certain respects. Right, so those look quite nice eggs. They are orgasmic. I've got my little beans. I don't want to start that too soon. Oops! I need to get some coffee going. Hang on. I'm having a nice big mug of coffee. I have gone off. I drink more tea than coffee these days for some reason. But I'm just, because this is a larger mug, I put a little bit more than a teaspoon in, and then I'm just going to have it with milk, a bit of milk. So anyway, I was reminded. Oh, hang on. Oh dear. I was reminded of the Chinese New Year from a post on Instagram that SIBO put up about Chinese New Year or something, because I think it must be the Chinese New Year today, possibly, maybe. Now let me just check my calendar. It is, it's the 29th, it's the Chinese New Year, so that's apt. I'm talking about it on the Chinese New Year. So I just searched it because I couldn't remember what I was. So I am a rooster, But I've got a rooster horoscope according to this website, and looks like 2025 for the rooster is going to be very, very good, because overall I get 5 out of 5. In 2025, my overall fortune will be improved and many things will happen as planned. In this year, you'll need to keep a low profile in work. Well, I'll keep a low profile here because this is my work. So I get a 5 out of 5 for career, my wealth, 5 out of 5, my love, 5 out of 5, and my health, 5 out of 5. It says take advantage of the positive momentum in 2025 to enhance your physical fitness. You need to maintain good living habits and strengthen physical exercise to improve your physical fitness. Can you hear me above Daisy? Oh, she's annoying. I don't know if you can hear it, but she's doing a little, she's rolling about on her dog bed, but it's just, she's rolling about on a bin liner at the moment because the dog bed is covered in a bin liner to stop the pee going through. Let me just take a swig of my coffee. So I'm feeling quite positive about 2025 after reading that. Of course, it's probably a load of bollocks, but you know, I'm going to take it as being completely genuine, and I'm going to have a really good 2025. I mean, I do know I need to improve my fitness anyway, but I looked at Mark's, and he doesn't have many. I don't think he's got any 5s. His is pretty bad. He's got a lot of 2 out of 5s and 3 out of 5. I can't remember now, but he's in for a rough ride and I'm in for a good year. Well, let's see if that happens. So let's put the egg there. Daisy is it just so annoys me when the dogs, or there's any background noise. You might not be able to hear it. Obviously, if I was recording this on my main channel, I'd have to edit all that out. I'd have to start again. But because Bits and Doings is far more relaxed, it doesn't matter, does it? Right, that looks quite nice, I must say. So I can't continue talking to you, otherwise my food will go cold. So I'm going to consume this, and you can join me a bit later on, and we'll have another chat on the sofa. Okie dokie, I've had my brunch, and very nice it was too. I won't need to eat anything now, maybe a little light snackette in the afternoon. So it's time to wash the dog bedding that has to be washed at least twice a week. And I've just noticed, I'm assuming it's Daisy, one of the dogs has piddled on one of the dog beds. And it's the one that's wrapped in a bin liner. So I think I will replace the bin liner with a new one. And oh dear, it's just constant washing, cleaning. I mean, I love the dogs, but they're proving to be a lot of work. Molly is worse, to be honest, than Daisy. I'm always sort of watching Molly. I'm putting her out all the time. Often I'll put her out and she doesn't do anything, and then she'll come in and pee in the kitchen. I don't mind they peeing on the kitchen floor. That's not so bad. It's when Molly pees on the living room carpet, and she does. But what can you do? You know, can't say, right, they're peeing in the house, let's get rid. You don't do that, because I love the dogs and I want them here for many more years. I mean, they're both 15, so you know, I love them dearly, but they do cause me quite a bit of stress. Right, I know it's I don't know, I'll do it on cottons because it gives the full spin. Always water plus. I'm going to do 50 degrees, I think, but we don't want them going on for so long, so I'll do the quick wash. Colours, start. I saw a bin lorry passing by a few minutes ago, so I thought, oh, they're here for the recycling. But no, it was the big bin. I went out to fetch the empty containers, saw that they were still full, and thought, where's my bin? And they don't put the bin back where they find it. It was on my neighbour's drive. So pulled the bin in, ready to start filling that again. It was pretty full. I wanted to try and squeeze a bit more in, but didn't get that opportunity. I'm sure I'll get over it. At least I haven't missed the bin collection. I mean, occasionally we've missed recycling, which isn't bad because we don't have loads and loads of recycling. But if you ever miss a big bin day, then that's your life ruined. Isn't it, dogs? Don't know if you can see the dogs, but I've got both of them. Daisy's next to me. Here you are, you naughty. I bet it was you that peed on that bed. It was. And we've actually got Molly Moo. I don't think... Can you just see her? Molly Moo. You stay there next to Daisy May. Oh, she's going to move. She can't settle. She makes me nervous. I can't relax with Molly because unlike Daisy, who's quite happy and content to be by my side or to be asleep on the bed or to be asleep on the sofa, Molly paces and sniffs around, and I'm thinking, is she going to wee? And sometimes I've caught her squatting and piddling right in front of my face. She can't help it. But this carpet's been shampooed that many times, it's not going to take many more shampoos. But there's no chance of any new carpet, I'm afraid, while we've got 2 elderly dogs in the house. It cleans well. I mean, it's just fortunate I've got a decent shampooer. Anyway, for any of you interested, I'm still watching Call the Midwife. I've got it on now. I started watching Series 7, Episode 2. But I'm starting to get a little bit, not tired of it, but I'm thinking I might give myself a break, you know. I don't think I watched any of it yesterday. But normally I watch one a day, a bit, sort of split it up. I don't normally sit down and watch a whole episode. I might have a bit, you know, watch a bit at breakfast, and then if I have something to eat later on in the day, I'll put it on and watch it. And often in bed, I'll watch some in the morning on my iPad, you know. But I'm getting to a stage where I really like it, but I don't want to, you know, it's like, you know, if you eat something that you really like and you eat too much of it, then you start to go off it. Do you know what I mean? If you do anything to excess, then it stops becoming a pleasure and becomes sort of, I don't know, less pleasurable. And I don't want that to happen with Call the Midwife, so I might sort of give it a rest. There's been a few inaccuracies with the vacuum cleaners since I've watched it, you know. They've shown, they showed a Hoover dirt searcher long before it was launched. Very naughty of the props department. But what I am into now, and I know I'm very late to the party, is Ted Lasso. Now, I knew of Ted Lasso. Now, I was made aware of Ted Lasso because I saw one of the actors with a lovely hairy chest. Now, I know this actor because he played the boyfriend in that sitcom Derek, if you know that, with Ricky Gervais. And he played a man who brought his mother or grandmother, might have been grandmother, into the care home, and he formed a relationship with the lady that sort of looked after the care home. Brett Goldstein, I believe his name is. So I saw a clip of him looking very hirsute, and, you know, that's the sort of body I'd like, you know, not too much, just trim, nice bit of muscle. I did back in the day, you know, crikey, 20 plus years ago, I had a reasonable looking body, I did. Where's it all gone? It's all gone to my belly. So yeah, I've got to sort the belly out, because that's the worst fat, especially for a man. Fat round the belly is the most unhealthy type of fat you can have, but that's where all my fat is. I've got obviously a bit on my face, but my arms and legs, and from, you know, I don't really have tits, but sort of, you know, it's just the belly area that needs to be sorted. So more exercise, more healthy eating, and getting out more. It's a lovely sunny day. It's cold, but it's, you know, it's bright. I've not got any lights on, and normally it's very dull in the house, in the living room anyway. But it's one of those Not summer yet. It's one of those winter days that I really like. I don't mind it being a bit cold, but we can go out for a nice walk and the sun on your face, it's just lovely. So Ted Lasso. So I knew of it, and I did start. It's only available, I believe, it might be available on other platforms, but you can watch it on Apple TV. And since I had 3 months Apple TV membership doodah gratis when I bought my laptop, I thought I'd watch it, because Mark and I finished watching Bad Sisters, which is also on Apple TV. And we both enjoyed The Traitors, okay? We like that. And it's nice that we have a mutual programme we both like to watch. It sort of brings us together, because normally we watch different things at different times. He doesn't like a lot of the stuff I watch, and vice versa. So there are occasions when he wants to watch something special, I'll make myself scarce upstairs, you know. But I'm not too bothered, because everything I watch doesn't tend to be on live, you know. I watch it whenever. So when we have some mutual appreciation of a TV programme, it's nice. So we both enjoyed watching The Traitors together. We watched it as it happened. Really enjoyed that. We are watching The Masked Singer, but it's a bit just watching it now because I want to find out who the people are. So anyway, I put Ted Lasso on. I started watching the first episode months and months ago, and I sort of didn't bother with it. I watched 20 minutes of it, and for some reason it didn't tickle my interest, if you know what I mean, at the time. So anyway, we were on Apple TV, and it came up and I said, oh, shall we try this Ted Lasso? It's supposed to be, you know, it's very good, it's popular, blah blah. So anyway, we watched the first one, and Mark likes it as well. And I started getting involved with it. I started to get, it is about football. It is set around Richmond football team, whatever. Okay? But you don't have to know anything about football. And I'm talking about British football, where you kick the ball with your foot. Not American football or Australian rules. Football, you know? You don't have to appreciate football. You don't have to know anything about football. I have no interest in football whatsoever. Zilch. So you don't have to know about football. There is football content. It's set in a football team. You know, it says football team and a coach and the owner of the football team. But it's just about relationships. It's very funny, but it's one of those sitcoms that makes you laugh, and then the next minute you're quite moist-eyed, you know, few tears. It's that old-fashioned thing of being heartwarming, and it's hard to recreate. I mean, it's set in the UK, in Richmond, but it's an American production, and normally stuff that comes out of America these days is absolute, you know, what is the word? Shite. I mean, I liked a lot of old American stuff, but the stuff that's now is woke, not even funny. But this Ted Lasso, it's not, I wouldn't describe anything about it as being woke. It's got a diverse cast, but then a football team in the 2020s, they are a diverse group of men, aren't they? That's normal in this day, you know, they're not all white. There's a mix of, you know, white, black, other ethnicities. So, you know, that I don't regard that as woke, that they've got black and Asian and Brazilian characters. That's all by the by. That's fine. That's, you know, that's not being woke. That's just reflecting what it is. But it is just this Ted Lasso character. At first glance, he might come across as, oh, typical upbeat American, you know, but he's very endearing. The character's endearing. And there's a relationship between the owner of the football club and the girlfriend of one of the players. Now, there is one player who's an absolute arsehole. He's not in it at the moment in the episodes I'm watching, but he does come back. He's this cocky, you know, I'm all it character. But there's a lovely relationship between his girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend now, and the owner of the football team. An older woman and a younger woman. And it's a lovely, they have the fallings out, but they make up. And there's you can see there's a real connection between them. And I believe in real life, I've seen them chatting in real life, and I think they are friends in real life. They all seem to be friendly off camera, which is nice, because it's not nice to find out that you can watch a show for years and realise that some of the cast didn't get on. I'm thinking of Sex and the City, you know, with Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker. You know, there's friction there, and you don't want to hear that. You want to believe, you know they're acting, but you want to believe that they're friendly off camera, don't you? And it sort of spoils it a bit when you realise, oh, they're just pretending to like each other, you know? But that's what acting is, pretending. But anyway, Mark and I are we're about to watch, not tonight because he's not back until after midnight. He's gone straight to work, and from work he's off to York with Louise to see Here We Go Again, which is, I think it's a musical or something about Dolly Parton. I used to like Dolly Parton. Unfortunately, there's certain people I don't like anymore, because I will not forgive Dolly Parton for doing the old vaccine, 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 and plugging, you know. So I'm just so glad that I never saw ABBA doing that. I'm glad I didn't see ABBA singing "Take a Jab for Me." You know, if you change your mind, I'm the first in line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a jab for me. If ABBA had done that, that would have destroyed my whole world, to be honest. I didn't see them discussing it, mentioning it. Maybe they did, I don't know. And the same with Barbara Dixon. I'm sure she had one or two of the jabs, because she did go to America at a time when you couldn't go to America unless you'd had one of the jabs. So, but at least Barbara Dixon didn't picture herself getting one. She didn't picture herself in a face mask, as far as I know. She just kept out of it, and I think that's the best way to be. If you're in the public eye, if you're in, you know, musician, singer, actor, whatever, just keep politics out of your job, because you're going to alienate possibly half of you know, your fans. And it's you know, I try to turn, you know, I mean, it's fortunate the people I like the most, I didn't see them plugging it. But there's people I did like and still like, but they have plugged it, and it sort of muddies the water. But it looks like things are going quite a lot more right-wing now with the new president. I don't know what's happening about that. I still don't trust President Trump. I'd rather he was in than the other one, to be honest. And he seems to be getting stuff done. But I can't trust anyone these days. I don't believe he's come to save the world. I think he could be on the same team as all of them. You know, I'm that far down the rabbit hole. I'm not going to put my hopes on anything. As I've said many times before, don't put your hopes on other people to make things better in your life. It's you. Yeah, you there. I'm looking at you. I like the hair, by the way. It's very nice. Is it new? New do? You are the only person that can really make a difference to yourself. You know yourself better than anybody else, and you need to work on yourself. And I know that. I know my flaws, my foibles, if that's the right word. I know what I'm like. I know I'm going to fail at things, and I know I'm going to try them again, and I'm going to fail at them again. And I do have a pattern of doing that. But I don't know, I just feel different about this year. I feel that I'm going to break some patterns this year. I've just got to, you know. But yeah, the sun does make one feel a lot happier, doesn't it? When there's sunshine, when you get a bit of sun on your retina, your retinas. And a bit, I can feel the warmth. Although I've had to pop the heating back on because it was a bit chilly earlier. But yeah, so I try not to be as, I got very, very cynical over the past few years, as one would expect. But I'm trying, I was thinking, like, enjoy Ted Lasso for what it is. It does make you feel good. It's heartwarming, it's emotional. And it makes you feel that it makes you feel that there is good in this world, But then there's a little bit of me that thinks, now, what's this agenda they're pushing? Why are they making me feel like I don't like to be manipulated by TV programmes or music? What are they doing this for? There's always that, which is a shame, because in the past I just used to be able to enjoy stuff for what it was. I didn't see a double meaning. I used to accept what they told me on the BBC, the newsreader told me. I used to accept that was all 100% true. And there's a lot of people now, probably a lot of you watching, do not accept what you're being told by the mainstream. And I don't accept what I'm being told by alternative sources either. I don't accept anything fully and completely unless I know it to be true on a personal level. So it's why I suppose I like to watch old stuff from the 70s and 80s and 90s, I suppose. But even when I'm watching older programmes, I don't spot it as much, but you might see you might think, is there an agenda there in that scene? What that actor has said? Are they pushing something? Obviously at the time, watching these sitcoms, these bawdy... there was this funny, these sitcoms in the 70s and 80s and 90s. And they offended people, but people weren't offended in the way they get offended these days. They weren't offended like that. I mean, even now I see some things, especially on the buses and things like that, and think, oh, I'm surprised they're showing it. But you do get the warning. Fortunately, if you're watching things from the 70s and 80s, often a warning will come up. Just to say, look, if you're a snowflake, you might be offended by some of the things that these people are saying. But what I can't stand is when they edit out stuff. I can understand when they're showing stuff sort of live at certain times of the day, certain bits are edited out. I understand why they do that. But when you're choosing to watch something on catch-up, there should be no edits. But there are, which is why I like to have the physical media. I like to have the DVDs, because they can't come around and edit those. If you stream stuff, you don't own that stream. And they can change it. They've edited bits of Little Britain. They've taken out characters from Little Britain. I find that funny still. It was of its time. But I like to see it as it was when it was on the TV and have the box set of that, so I can. But you go on iPlayer and you can't watch it as it was broadcast a few years back. Because, oh no, we can't offend folk. So, I mean, I like Call the Midwife because it's set in part of history that I really enjoy watching. Really, anything sort of... I quite like seeing sort of World War II period stuff, what happened in the war, because it affected my grandparents especially. My father was not conscripted. He had to do national service, that was it. So he had to, you had to do this compulsory. I don't know if it was 2 or 3 years. So my dad was around in the war, obviously. I don't think he was at an age to fight in the war. No, he wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been old enough to go to war. But when he reached whatever age you had to do national service, he did it. But so the 50s, and I quite like seeing how things got better for people. The initial aftermath of World War II, obviously, there was a lot of destruction, a lot of people made homeless by their houses being bombed. There was still rationing. And as the years progressed, things got better. things started being more available. The food rationing came off. Then all these new advances in technology started happening in the house, you know, the appliances and all the fashions. I love seeing that progression, and I think that's, for me, that was like a golden age. I didn't experience it, but looking at it as an observer, what we're being shown, you know, I just like it. I just like looking at archived material and thinking, yeah, things did look better back then. And that's why I call the Midwife, although it's, yeah, as I said, there's a few errors, and there are a few messages in there. It's getting a little bit more woke as I'm going along, and there are things that I don't think would have. There's some historical references, but I think a lot of the attitudes, they do show a bit of the attitudes that people had towards black people, but I think it's too accepting of diversity, and it's not historically accurate, because there was prejudice, a lot of prejudice, back in the time, you know, 50s, 60s into the 70s, and you know, things got a lot more relaxed and more liberal, but there was still prejudice. And there's a new black nurse has just appeared, and you know, she's being accepted, of course, by the nuns and the other midwives, but she's getting a bit of sort of snide looks by, you know, the people of Poplar. But one thing that really touched me, and it's a lesson that people haven't learnt, and I'll finish this vlog on this, is it made me cry. They did cover the drug thalidomide. It was under other names as well, and so hopefully most of you know what thalidomide did to the babies of the mothers who took it. Now, they took it for morning sickness, apparently. And if they took it before the baby, I think it was about 8 weeks old, it would affect the development. It could, well, not every case, but it would be a probability that it could affect the development of the baby in the womb. Apparently, after 8 weeks pregnancy and you took it, it was fine, but before that period, so they were dished out by doctors. This new wonder drug, mothers took it because they hated having morning sickness, they just took it without question, and then the scandal of the thalidomide babies started to happen, where these babies were being born with maybe no arms and legs, or just very tiny arms, tiny legs. Some were born without eyes, some were born without a roof to the mouth. And all because these mothers trusted their doctor when he dished out the pills. Now, you can't really blame the doctor, I suppose. They didn't know at the time, and the doctor called the midwife when he started finding out about these birth defects. You know, he was upset about it, and then it started to come out, and that story does carry along, but it's so distressing to see that happened, and even now, it took 50 years plus. I remember hearing about thalidomide when I was growing up and beyond, because people were still trying to get compensation for what happened. 50 years, you know, since the scandal. It is, you know, I can't believe it. And history repeats itself. People just, I mean, hopefully some of you didn't take it who watch me. Some of you will have taken those things that they told everyone to take. I don't have to say what it was. You know what I'm talking about. And a lot of people, because the telly told them it was all right, the Queen told them it was all right, their favourite actor or singer said, yes, I'm having it, you have it, protect your granny. And they just rolled up their sleeves and took 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever, without question. I can't get over that. Obviously I didn't. Mark did. Twice at least. My mum did. because they believed what they believed what that black mirror in the living room told them, and the newspapers told them. It was constant, wasn't it? Things are coming out, but I don't know if the truth will ever properly come out. People did die after taking it. People did get autoimmune diseases after taking it. There's many things that happened after people, you know. People are still being affected by that decision. But I'm hoping it's waking people up. I think people are waking up. People are less trusting of what the mainstream are telling them now, and that's a good thing. But is it enough? Because I believe we've been lied to all our lives. We've been lied to. There's been propaganda for hundreds of years. Even before the printed word, before radio, before television, before the internet, there would have been propaganda to just the people so-called in charge, just telling the other people, the masses, what to think. And that's been going on for centuries. So if people now think we're being lied to now, what makes you think we haven't been lied to all our lives about so many things? I mean, it's just mind-boggling to think. So now every time I look at a historical event on the TV or I remember something, now my brain is thinking, yes, that's what they told us. But we know now, a lot of you watching will know now, we're not being told the truth. We're being lied to, we're being manipulated. So I just think, was it, I don't know if it was Shakespeare that had the quote, the whole world is a stage. Well, it is. And we all have our parts to play, and it's whether you want to be a bit player or you want to be the star. I've never wanted to be the star. I just want to be in the background. Although I have been the star of various productions. Well, at least one production at school, and I have been at the front. I've been in the choir. I've been where I can be seen. I haven't always been in the background. I feel happier, sort of, not being noticed. Ironic for someone who's putting his face out on YouTube. Yeah, I know that's an ironic thing to say, and I suppose part of me wants to. It's odd, part of me wants to be in the spotlight, but part of me doesn't. I often go and see a live show at the theatre, and I look at that and think, I shouldn't be watching. I shouldn't be sat here with all the audience. I should be up there. I should be entertaining them. But then I couldn't do it. I don't know how I could do it. But there's always that bit inside, deep down inside, that I want to entertain. I want to make you laugh. It's a really odd sort of position I find myself in. But anyway, very philosophical. Philosophical. That is the correct word. I'm being very philosophical. I can't say it again. Quit while you're ahead, Rog. I'm going to quit. My coffee's gone cold. So, just a bit of an update. As I said, I couldn't put up the last video. I looked absolutely horrendous in it. I don't suppose I look much better now, but I'm trying to keep my belly covered up. But I'm feeling optimistic about 2025. I hope you are. I think things are changing. I think hopefully they're changing for the better. Unfortunately in the UK, it doesn't look like things are changing, but you never know. Trump may influence what's going on in the UK. I don't know. As I said, I don't know if I can trust him. I don't think I can trust anyone, to be honest. Trust yourself, folks. Do what you can to improve yourself, your life. Sort that out. Change what you can change, and don't bother yourself about what you can't change. And just try not to get so wound up. That's my That's one of my sort of unwritten resolutions for this year. Try not to get so wound up about things, because it's not good for your mental health, it's not good for your heart, it's not good for your physical health, getting stressed out. So even if it means going into a bubble a bit and just focusing on your family, your circle, your bubble, get that strong and healthy, and then you're more ready to tackle anything that's going to try and burst your bubble, because they're all trying to do that. All these so-called elites, they're there with a big pin, just ready to jab that bubble, to explode it, and then start jabbing you with a pin. Don't let the bastards grind you down, folks. Thanks for watching, and well, I'll see you whenever. You know me, but sometime I'll be back, hopefully. Anyway, I'm off. Might have to make myself another cup of coffee. Yes, that's lukewarm. Daisy, I think, might want to go out, so I better let her out in case she pees in the house again. And yeah, thanks for watching to the bitter end, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.